365 World News.
Breaking news overnight, a fatal ending to a hostage standoff at a massive veterans home in Northern California.
This home servicing veterans suffering from PTSD, and overnight police raided the area where the gunman had taken 3 women hostage. Now, despite attempts to negotiate, they found that all 4 people, including the gunman, were dead.
This morning, we're getting our first look at the victims, a psychologist, a therapist, and the executive director of a nonprofit, all of whom work at this facility, which is the largest veterans home in the country. They were attending a going-away party for colleagues when the shooter barged in.
And this is the man identified as the shooter. His name is Albert Wong. He is a veteran of Afghanistan who had been treated at the facility for PTSD. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is right there on the scene in Yountville, California. Marcy, good morning.
Paula, Dan, good morning. The scene here is still blocked off. Investigators are now trying to piece together what played out in that room during the day-long standoff and whether the victims were specifically targeted.
This morning, the hostage standoff inside the largest veterans home in America over. Officers finding all 3 women and the man who held them at gunpoint dead.
This is a tragic piece of news, one that we were really hoping we wouldn't have to come before the public to give.
The call first coming in around 10:30 Friday morning. 36-year-old Albert Wong, a former client at the facility that treats veterans with PTSD, armed with a rifle. The decorated former soldier who served a year in Afghanistan opening fire, shooting at a deputy. Walking into a going-away party for one of the center's employees.
There was cake and, a little bit of a celebration, and then this man walked in with a gun. My wife and 3 other women were able to leave.
But 3 other women, all employees, all taken hostage.
Does still have 3 people inside. The units, be advised, he does have a stash of bullets around his neck.
SWAT teams surrounding the building as workers, volunteers, and residents at the sprawling veterans facility evacuated or sheltered in place.
They're safe, but they're not being let out at all until they get the suspect.
Hostage negotiators trying to reach Wong for more than 7 hours, getting no response. Authorities finally making the call around 6 p.m. to move in.
Law enforcement personnel made entry into the room where we felt the hostages were being held by the suspect, and unfortunately made the discovery.
And we're told the deputy involved in that shootout is okay. This morning, investigators are still unsure of Wong's motive. Dan and Paula, back to you.
Marcy, thank you.